All right, guys, today we are going to be discussing the top 5 changes or improvements that I personally would like to see implemented into EA Sports PGA Tour. These are just kind of my thoughts and suggestions. I'd love to hear yours in the comments down below as well. These are the things that I think at the moment need the most attention. And this is outside of like content updates, obviously like adding new golfers and adding new courses. Of course, that's important to keep that up, but I'm talking like changes to the current game and setup. So let's dive right into it. I have 5 things written down here, and I'm going to kind of just flesh it out and talk about each one a little bit. So we're going to start with improved AI, and I think that's fitting after what happened in the final round of the Masters. This is like more of a career mode thought. It's improved AI and to have the full single rounds, 2 rounds, 3 rounds available as well in place of quick rounds. Not in place of quick rounds, but in addition to quick rounds. If you don't want to do quick rounds, that you can do like a tournament like the Players as 2 full rounds instead of 4 full rounds or quick rounds. Right now, there's not enough options there. And improved AI, which I mentioned, of course, is good timing considering how crazy Scotty Scheffler went in round 4 of the Masters. Now, I don't think that's as big of a problem, like an AI having an insane round and setting the course record at Augusta and winning the tournament by 5 shots. Okay, it's a little bit unrealistic to go on a streak like Scotty Scheffler did, yes, but I think the problems are a little bit more to do with the way that they take some of their shots, and especially with the putts. So their putting in general, really good, but once it gets inside like 1 foot, like when the putts get inside like 1 foot, that's when you have some problems with the AI. They will, for some reason, try and drip it in the front with a 1 foot putt. I mean, a professional golfer will never ever do that. And I'm assuming that's something to do with like the AI is just going on the exact power that it says you should hit the putt, and actually a little bit lower sometimes, and they're underswinging like a 1-inch putt. And that's why you'll see on some of these 1-inch putts, they'll actually, the only way they ever miss a 1-inch putt is by leaving it short, which is obviously never been seen in professional golf before. They'll leave a 1-inch putt short. But that definitely needs to be improved and fixed upon. And also I would say off the tee as well, there's a couple of different areas where I think the AI could be improved, because generally I do think that the AI is a great addition to the game to have a playing partner like that and then play alongside you. And I think that for the most part it's really entertaining and fun to have them, but there is certain scenarios where it'll kind of break your immersion a little bit, like at Augusta as well. I feel like a lot of the problems came at Augusta, where on the first hole there's a little bit of a hill down to the left and there's a hill in front of you, and you have to basically carry it all the way up to the pin, and the AI never does that. They'll never hit a flop shot and carry it to the pin. They'll always pitch it and land it short. And in this particular occasion, Jordan Spieth was pitching it into the hill and was rolling back down right to his feet every single time, and he did it like 4 times in a row and got the shot stroke limit. So obviously that's something that needs to be improved upon. I think the AI hitting different shot types is important, because you'll see as well that in certain scenarios out of the bunker, they'll always hit the blast. No matter what scenario is, they'll hit the blast and they'll never hit the pick, and their bunker shots are terrible in the game because of that, because they'll hit the blast, but they'll also land the ball by the green, so it'll go flying past. They'll always go like 20 foot by on the bunker shots, and that's just not realistic, really, that a professional golfer would never get it close out of the bunker. And then the other small gripe I have is that the AI will, this one is lesser of a problem, but with the driver in their hand, they rarely, and I mean it's so rare, that they'll hit like a full driver. Usually they'll hit like -12%, -20%. But when they hit the 3-wood, they always hit it perfect and straight, and they always hit it like full power, which is strange. I don't know if it's something to do with the driver, and the driving distances stat in the game, like I think is taking a hit because of it. Like no one has a really long driving distance stat in the game because of that. But yeah, overall, I think a few minor adjustments to the AI could really improve the experience in career mode, and adding more options for tournaments as well, like being able to do 1 full round for the tournament or 2 full rounds for the tournament, I think could really vastly improve the career mode experience, because I do think that EA have created one of the best career modes in golf, in golfing games. In this game, like it's really in depth, especially definitely in the last a couple of generations, and it's in depth, and I love the sponsor challenges. I love that kind of stuff. Some of them are like drastically hard, but you can kind of put it on to pro difficulty, arcade difficulty if you really need to on these challenges as well. Some of them are just not designed to be beaten on the harder difficulties 100%. You can tell based on how extreme they are. But overall, I think they did a great job with career mode, and a few minor improvements will go a long way with this one. So that's my first change that I would make, or first improvement that I would make to the game. That definitely is an important one for me. I feel like career mode is the bread and butter of this game, so to be able to improve that one as quickly as possible would be great. Now, I'm not doing the rest of these in any particular order of importance, by the way. I'm just kind of shooting off the hip and talking about changes and improvements that I would make. So the next one I'm talking about, I actually think it's probably the least important out of the 5 that I've mentioned here, but it's more punishing rough and changing shot types. So the rough in general on a lot of courses, on some courses it will be punishing, like when you're playing Whistling Straits, sometimes I'll get like a 15 to 24% lie if I'm hitting a 3-wood, and then obviously the further I go up the clubs, the better lie you get. But yeah, you'll get like yellow lies and stuff like that in the rough at Whistling Straits. But generally on most country clubs, the rough won't really affect it. And I actually understand this line of thinking, because I do think like most roughs on country clubs don't really affect what club a professional would hit unless they're thinking about a fly or lie. Like, it's not like light rough on a course like the Sawgrass or something like that is going to make a player hit a 6-iron instead of a 9-iron. It's just not so that's why I kind of people are kind of expecting it to be like 2K with the rough, where like sometimes in the rough in 2K you'll get like a 65 to 70% lie with a bloody 7-iron or something like that, and you'll rarely see a pro have a problem like that unless it's extreme heavy rough. And so I think that a little bit of a balance between the two. I think 2K's is definitely too extreme, and I think EA's is a little bit too lenient. The problem I have with the rough is that it kind of plays the same as the fairway does, you know? Like coming out of the rough, a lot of the time you will get checked that you wouldn't get coming out of the rough in a lot of scenarios. Like it won't like run through the green coming out of the rough with the shorter clubs, at least. I feel like you should be getting more like flyer lies. It should affect the way the shot is taken, because right now if I'm in the light rough or the fairway, I'm in the exact same shot. Like it makes no difference to the shot that I hit. So I feel like there should be kind of a little bit of a difference and a little bit of thought going into the way that you hit it out of the rough. And also one thing that I do think should be changed is a little bit of the ball physics with rolling through rough at high speeds. It rolls through the rough with too much extremity. Like the rough doesn't catch the ball up and hold it up enough when the ball is traveling at a high speed. So if the ball goes into the rough at a high speed, it'll kind of just sail on through it, whereas it should be catching it up and slowing it down and eventually stopping it pretty quickly. So I think that needs a little bit of tweaking there as well. But as I said, this one to me is not as big of a problem as some people seem to think. Like some people are saying the rough isn't nearly punishing enough. I think it depends on the course, and I think a lot of courses I do agree, like 90% lies is fine in the rough. Like that is something, like sometimes I'll actually prefer hitting it out of the rough on my course, because you'll get like a little bit more grass around the ball and it'll be easier to hit, like at least with short game shots. Sometimes I'll prefer that than nipping it off the fairway. So yeah, I don't really think it like affects on my course. If you go into the rough, it's not going to like make you hit like 2 more clubs or something like that. So I don't think that's necessarily a problem, like giving you like a 60% lie in normal roughs and stuff like that. I don't think that's a problem, but I do think there needs to be a little bit of change, as I said, to the way that the shot type is hit as well. All right, the third change that I'm going to talk about, or improvement, no, well, this is kind of a change or an addition, I suppose, is adding online head-to-head match play, all shot, and basically all the stuff you can do in quick play, that needs to be available online and to do with your friends in private matches. And it needs to be soon, because the online for EA Sports PGA Tour is solely on the tournaments right now, and the head-to-head aspect, the community aspect, is just really not there the way that it should be. I think that this could make such a big difference to this game. Like, it's honestly kind of do or die time for this game with this stuff. Like, they need to get this added in within the next couple of months, and a proper fully fledged rank system as well. Obviously competitive with the leaderboards, that straight up doesn't cut it right now. You're not playing match play. You don't have that competitive feeling when you're playing competitive in EA Sports PGA Tour. Like, you don't see your people you're playing against hitting all their shots. Like, you don't get into these 1v1 hype situations in match play, and that's a killer. It's an absolute killer for an online game. So they need to add online head-to-head match play, all shot more, and I think that they will be doing this soon, 100%, because they have to have it in there before the Ryder Cup. They're bringing in a Ryder Cup mode, obviously online with your friends. If you want to be able to play this Ryder Cup mode, you're gonna have to have all shot, you're gonna have to have match play, you're gonna have to have foursomes and four ball. You'll have to have all of these modes available to play, or else the Ryder Cup is pretty much pointless. And online, it's gonna be useless. You can't do a Ryder Cup with stroke play online, so it'll just be a single player Ryder Cup experience. That would not be really ideal at all. So I think that this is going to happen sooner rather than later. I'd expect this within the next couple of months to be added to online play, and I'd be very disappointed if it wasn't, to be honest. And when I talk about a fully fledged rank system, I don't mean just a leaderboard with the wins and losses. I mean like 2K has now, where it's like gold, silver, bronze tiers. Like, obviously they have it with golf terms. I don't think you need to do that. Just gold, silver, bronze, platinum. Just have these tiers and have 3 divisions in each tier, and just have a proper rank system where it's online head-to-head match play, and ranked duos would be great as well, to kind of see who's in the top division. That sort of stuff keeps people coming back and really gets people invested in the online ecosystem and gets people invested with their rank. The rank for 2K, like, it gets me so much more hyped when I get promoted to the next rank. Just seeing my wins and losses doesn't really do that at all. I feel like going from silver 1 to gold 3, like, that's a moment of ecstasy right there. Like, it's just, people who play competitive games get it, right? And that's something that needs to be added in, as a proper rank system, match play, all shot, all this kind of thing. All these kind of things, rather. Obviously, I think if they started with match play, that would be fine, just to get something in there. Put match play in there, and then all shot or foursomes, one or the other, get those in there as well, would be really, really great. Out of the 5, I do think this is the most important one for the game's longevity. I think this should be priority number 1 for the game right now, is getting a proper ranked system with head-to-head online play in the game ASAP. That needs to be the number 1 priority. I don't think the game should have launched without it, but getting that in now is the priority for sure. 2K obviously didn't launch with it either, and they brought it out later, and I think the game's in a really good place now because of it. Like, 2K is improving every couple of months and making great changes, and I think that EA Sports PGA Tour can win back a lot of the audience with a good ranked system and just a good system overall, a good online system overall, because right now they don't have one. All right, we're going on to change number 4. And number 4 is still to do with online, but it's more to do with the tournaments. This is just something that I personally think would be nice to have added in, is more sim tournaments in the daily and the weekly section, because right now we literally only have 1 sim tournament, and it's in the seasonal. So 1 sim tournament every 30 days, like, that's not enough, because I'm playing on sim difficulty most of the time now, and I feel like it's kind of sucky that there's only tour and there's only pro and arcade tournaments. I feel like there should be something more there for the sim people. Maybe they will have some more sims in the daily and the weekly as we go along, but I haven't seen too much of it yet, and I'd just love to see a little bit more there. Now, I will say one other thing that I would like to see is 1 tournament in the weekly and the daily section. That's a one-shot tournament, because right now you can have as many entries into most of these tournaments as you want. Obviously, you need to pay, buy a lot of tickets and stuff like that, but I would love to see at least 1 tournament daily and 1 tournament weekly where it's just, you get 1 shot at it. Because in golf, you don't get multiple shots at winning a tournament. You get 1 shot at it. So I would love to see 1-shot tournaments in there, even just if there's, like, in addition to the ones that are already there. Like, I don't mind the fact that they have ones where you can have multiple entries there. That's fine. But I think that there should be ones where it's 1-shot entry, because you're playing against people there in a tournament who could have put in 4 scores to get that high score that they got, and you're going in there. I'm only playing tournaments once, so I'm at a huge disadvantage there if I'm playing against people who have played the tournament more than 1 time. I just think that would be a nice addition to have to the tournaments. Last but not least, I think that there should be a higher swing difficulty, a harder swing difficulty than there is in the game at the moment. I actually think that the game is really challenging and engaging and fun, and I don't think the game is too easy by any stretch of the imagination on the hardest difficulty. I think it's a really good challenge, but it shouldn't be the hardest difficulty. There should be something more there. Like on Sim, I can definitely shoot a really low round, and I've only been playing the game for what, less than a month or whatever. I can go really low on Sim, but I can also have bad rounds on Sim, but I feel like there should be just one more swing difficulty where things are a little bit more challenging, because I feel like definitely off the tee at least, I feel like driving is a little, like I have pretty much 0 points in driving accuracy, and I would say I hit most of the fairways. There's just a few courses where like narrow fairways and stuff like that where I end up missing quite a few because of my driving accuracy, but generally I won't be punished too much for that. So I feel like a harder swing difficulty could definitely make for some fun and engaging and content, and on top of content, gameplay as well. Like, I think having that harder swing difficulty there would be really fun. And just like 2K has legend difficulty, you know? Like, Master is the standard. Well, Master and Pro are the standard, but then they have that legend swing difficulty in case people really want to test themselves, you know? So I think that having a kind of an extreme / really hard difficulty, nothing like to the point where it's like not even fun, but like just to have a swing difficulty that's definitely a little bit harder than the hard swing difficulty in EA Sports PGA Tour would be great. Those would be probably the 5 changes / additions that I would make to the game, and let me know what your thoughts on these changes are. I think they've done a good job of changing some of the things that I had a problem with at launch already. They've already changed like the HUD and the putt meter you can get rid of, and they've changed quite a few different things already that have benefited the game greatly. So if they keep that up and they keep listening to the community and keep changing things for the better, then I think that this game is going to be in a really good place in the future. So thanks for all the support on the videos recently. It's been absolutely awesome, and I hope you guys enjoyed this one too. If you did, make sure to drop a like, and if you want to see more videos like this where I kind of just sit down and discuss the game and talk about changes that I'd make and do updates on the game and stuff like that, let me know. Thanks for watching. See you next time. It's been my pleasure to serve you all. Peace out, boys. Enjoy your weekend.